Hey, stranger. Let's chat sometime, okay?
Authorized personnel. Friend has to stay here.
What's this? Just you then? No UC executioner. So the cabinet knows the truth about Orlays. Splendid. That means you and I can get to work. I'll tell you why. Because the UC was, and is, full of people unwilling to pay the price required for victory. In the last days of the war, the UC was on the precipice of executing a final great assault on the Freestar Collective home system of Cheyenne. A massive strike, capable of obliterating Freestar Central Command and ending the conflict at long last. And I wouldn't underestimate the UC's capability for coordinated action. But just before we could launch the strike, word came from Londinian. The Terramorph outbreak had begun. I went to the city to assess the state of things, and discovered the Lazarus plan. We couldn't spare ships for a proper quarantine and could get back to winning the war. Very well. So upon my return from Londinian, we proceeded with our killing blow. Initially, we had great success against the mess the Freestar Collective called a Navy. But then the Freestar citizenry decided to get involved. Dozens of civilian ships jumping in to shield their military counterparts. I, of course, had no trouble firing on what should have been designated enemy vessels. But my peers had lost the stomach for it. So many lives lost already, they wailed. So the great UC Navy was routed by a mob. They picked our ships apart. The UC surrendered not long after, and thus rang the death knell for the great UC. It's human nature to see patterns, even when there are none. What ended the colony war was cowardice, nothing less. Well, thanks to our combined efforts, the Sanan name has more clout with the cabinet than it has in years. I hope to build on that. I have a long list of names civilized society would be better without. I just need someone to help me remove them from the picture. Should we begin the hunt? Or did you have questions? Just what I was hoping to hear. There's a slate waiting for you in the transfer system. Those are the details for our first, person of interest. Find them, eliminate them, and make the galaxy a better place for it. Though I would expect some resistance when trying to approach the target. Deal with any you encounter as you see fit. I'd urge caution. The target has likely surrounded themselves with unsavory elements.
Authorized personnel only. Your friend has to stay here.
I've been thinking a lot about my early days in Constellation lately. Got me pretty nostalgic, and I started digging in some old things, just sort of reminiscing. I found some of Irvin's last messages to me and thought I'd listen to them again to hear his voice. No, I apparently read at least a few of these. I just don't remember. It was a difficult time. It was surreal, honestly. So most of the messages were everyday things. Lots of excitedly written news about biodiversity and plant life. But one thing stood out. In one of his messages, he mentioned this job that he took at a mine shortly before he died. He said something terrible was happening there, but the message was garbled after that. True, but this was different. I recognized this pattern from the war. A portion of the message was encrypted. Well, Vasco helped decipher it. Turns out the message was from Irvin, and he was begging me to help him. The message was short, but his voice was pained. He was so upset. He said they were going to destroy his life if he didn't leave the planet now. Then he asked me to help clear his name. Said they had a case against him. Oh, he sounded so upset. I know this is probably long done, but I heard his voice. I can't just not look into it. So in this message, Irvin said he was being framed. He said they'll do it again. He asked if Constellation could send more help. His former employers had some job he took before he died. I think it was a mining company. Not exactly sure, but he mentioned a court case. So I think there's a paper trail. It is, but I was thinking about it and, well, it's still wrong, right? So I figured, hey, I can do some sort of a remote investigation here, see what I can find out. There's gotta be a paper trail, right? Now, I happen to have a trustworthy contact who knows a bit about law and owes me a favor. I'd need to pay in advance in case there are any access fees or bribes. That works. I'll tell them to go ahead with the investigation. You know, hearing Irvin's voice again made me want to help him, even though I know I can't. Does that make any sense? I appreciate that. It's going to be hard to get some sleep tonight after all this. But the fact that I'm doing something about it might be enough to help. Hopefully poking around in old records doesn't catch the attention of Hephaestus. Well, anyway, I'll let you know if my contact finds anything.
I have a feeling today's going to be a great day. Don't you agree?
I've been pondering a career change, to be honest. Now would be the right time.
No, I don't think so.
But the kids are older now. By this time next year, they'll all have jobs of their own. And a friend about some weird alien virus.
Show up.
Got a minute to chat? Maybe a few minutes. Probably not hours, though. But no guarantees.
Engine spotted.
Got my attention.
reached orbit stable.
How have you been? Sorry to pull you aside like this, but I wanted to take a moment to congratulate you. Taking those steps to eradicate the Terramorph threat is essential to the safety of every living thing in the settled systems. You should be proud. Yes, exactly. I'm glad you treated the situation with the urgency it deserved. Well, I'm relieved that the United Colonies agreed to use their genetically engineered microbe to exterminate the Terramorphs. Apparently, their decision was based on your recommendation. That was a smart choice you've made. A solid scientific decision. Against it? Not at all. I follow the science. If Chief Engineer Kulkarni believes that the microbe will be effective, then we have to trust her experience. Good, good. I wouldn't want you to think it was some kind of mistake. Despite the Lazarus plant being simply locked away, your decision has made the settled systems a safer place to live for years to come. It's my pleasure. Well, I suppose I've taken up enough of your valuable time. Back to it. There's something I need to talk to you about. Remember our last conversation, when you told me the artifacts made you feel like you were being pulled across the entire galaxy? Well, it got me thinking. So I dove into our archives and started looking through Constellation's older journal entries. Just because I wasn't familiar with the experience you described, doesn't mean the same might have been true for my predecessor. Really? I'm surprised that I haven't. After reading those journals, all of the pleasant memories of my time spent with Aja just started flooding back. She absolutely was. Aja was the one that taught me the ropes at Constellation and took me under her wing as her protege. Now that you mention it, you're probably right. Either way, we logged quite a few interesting discoveries together. Honestly, it wasn't so much what Aja and I discovered in our travels. It was the journey that was memorable. Exactly. For me, it was all about the quieter moments. There was nothing quite like sitting back and watching space bend while listening to Aja spin vivid stories to fill the time. Oh, I find that sort of cozy isolation the best way to really get to know someone. I'll take that as a compliment. Thank you. You know, all this talk about Aja reminds me that my time with her was a gift. I miss her dearly. No, she retired. Living on Porima 2 now, I think. Come to think of it, if we're ever out that far, perhaps we could pay her a visit, and I could make proper introductions. Well, you don't need to follow anyone. Just be yourself. I chose to accompany you on this journey because I saw something familiar in your eyes. A hunger for exploration. I don't know if I deserve to be that close to anyone right now. If you knew about the things that I've done, the way my life's unfolded, I think your opinion of me might change. Please, give me some time. I have to go.
Do you need me for something?
Jump back, please. Motion restored.
This is a private vessel. Go about your business. We don't do small talk while we're working, so move along. What I know is none of your damn business. This is a Galbank ship, not a vending machine. Take a hike.
Touching down.
You've got something for me? Yes, yes, absolutely.
Sarah! Sarah, good to see you again, my dear friend. I expect to hear some exciting tales when you two return.
I'll try, but I doubt any of them will compare to the spectacular tales that we hear you spin.
Lay it on me.
Look at this world. It's beautiful, just beautiful.
damaged or something?
On it!
use jetpacks for a reason, you know.
Captain Nathan, do you require my assistance?
looked at back at the lodge.
We offer only the best care in Newtland. Welcome to Reliant. So, what brings you in? Well, you certainly do need it. All right, we'll get you feeling better. Here, right. Take care of yourself.
By the way, Captain, Sergeant Yumi was looking for you.
Heard the cabinet's assembled some kind of elite anti-terror.
Much as I'm eager to explore the universe, there's nothing quite like the feeling of returning home.
Crix's bones. Look at you. We were right about the anomaly, weren't we? Tip our ears on the tail. An entire building generating a signature just like the artifact. I think we're going to need a little demonstration. Mind putting the paces to it? Everyone saw that, right?
Like a literal gift from the heavens.
And also the most practical consequence of our little venture thus far.
Got no old shipwise for this one. Going to just call weird, weird. So we had artifacts, a temple, and this power. All connected.
More questions than answers.
Already picked one up from the scans. Matches another one of the artifacts we found. In theory, there might be one temple for each. But sifting through all the signs to identify a match is tricky. Impossible if we don't have the right artifact to compare. And even then, it takes time. Don't think it's just fortune's laugh that this temple responded to you. The artifacts, the visions, this power you've gotten, all seems to be the same song somehow. Plenty to think about. Anyway, catch a smile out there. I'll work on finding planet anomalies that match the other artifacts we have.
If you have a moment, I have something I'd like to discuss.
We're free very soon.
Tough on my mind. When you have the time.
I must admit, you've surprised me. I thought you were going to take off as soon as you'd gotten something from us. But I was wrong. I want you for a little soiree I'm planning. It's about an artifact, and our goal is simple. We're going to purchase it. Art means the art is almost certainly stolen from someone. I just need a little more presence in the negotiation to show we're serious. And I think you'd be perfect. That settles it then. We just need to make a few stops when we get to the city, and then the drinks will be on me.
Drinks are on you? Now I'm certain there's something wrong with you, Walter.
It'll be easy, I promise. I'll ride passenger on your ship until we get to Neon. Just let me know when you're ready to set off. To the Volai star system, then. I admit I'm a little excited.
What's new?
I could really bend your ear when you got a moment. The whole Terramorph situation, seriously, hats off to you. When I was growing up, everyone was afraid of Terramorphs. How they could seemingly strike anywhere at any time. The carnage, the destruction. The stuff you've done here could save so many lives. Eat your nutrient paste or the Terramorphs will get you. Were you ever told that? I know using the microbes to kill the Terramorphs may be controversial, but for what it's worth, I think you made the right call. 100%. We just can't take any chances with those damn Terramorphs. Imagine, a generation from now, Terramorphs will just be a legend. In time, a fairy tale. The United Colonies. Hell, everyone and everywhere owes you big time. Even if they don't know it.
Anything I can help you with, Captain?
You have my attention.
Any day you make it through is a victory. Cora will be thrilled.
Okay, Sam. I'm trusting you to stay out of trouble. Think you can handle that?
This is Freestar Collective Space. Hold while we scan your ship. That's all we need. Enjoy Neon.
Yeah, what is it?
How have you been?